Hi everyone, and welcome to Snowvember's edition of Breck Buzz. I'm your host, Taylor Littleton, Marketing and Communications for the town of Breckenridge. We hope you're enjoying all the awesome snow that we've been getting, and so exciting that the ski area was able to open 2 days early this year, which I think is the first time in nearly a decade. So as we look at winter and rolling into winter, we're going to have our town council member, Erin Gigliello, on, and we're going to chat about everything you can expect this winter season in Breckenridge, so stay tuned. To Breck Buzz. We are now here with our wonderful town council member, Erin Gigliello. Welcome.
Thanks.
It is frigid outside.
It is cold, but snowy.
But we are rolling right into winter.
That's right, we are. We're rolling into winter.
Have you gone skiing yet?
Every day this week.
Really?
Yes.
I am so incredibly jealous.
Yeah, well, it's been great out there, and hopefully, while you're all watching this, it's still snowing.
Yeah. Have you gone up the resort as well?
Not yet.
Okay, so just backcountry.
Hopefully tomorrow or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a lot of cross country, which has been gorgeous. We're so lucky in Breckenridge to have these wonderful trails and to experience them in the winter as well as the summer.
Yeah, it's been great. Actually, at our employee forum the other day, Scott was joking about, talking about the Nordic Center, about how it's just been dumped on. And, we invested in some of that snowmaking stuff for the future, which will be really good. But, of course, the first year we have it, it dumps.
Right. Well, and I mean, considering the last couple of years, the snow hasn't been so great.
Yeah.
So hopefully, knock on wood somewhere, it will continue and we'll have a great season.
Yeah, so speaking of rolling into winter,
yes.
I think there are a lot of different things people can know and prepare about, and I think one of the biggest ones, and we talk about this a lot when it comes to winter, is our guests and transit and walkability. So what people may not know is we have some new updates with our transit department. We received a grant through CDOT, but actually from the Federal Transit Authority.
That's right.
Talk a little bit about that.
That's right. We were really fortunate. We received $1 million, and that will go toward 2 electric buses plus an electric bus barn. You can't just buy electric buses without having a place for them to charge. So that's pretty costly. That's $1.75 million alone just for the bus barn. And then each bus, a regular bus is about $500,000, and then an electric bus is a good amount more. I think around $750,000 to $1 million. And so we'll use that money. It will go toward a good place. And we're so excited to go toward electric buses because, we have a lot of buses running through Breckenridge, and we're doing all of these big steps to be more sustainable and environmentally friendly. And so it's a big push from the council to go toward electric buses so that we do cut down on some of these fuel sources. Yeah,
James, our Public Works Director, actually the other day was saying that, you remember we did the test of the electric bus before we got it. He said the amount of fuel we saved and the amount of carbon emissions we reduced was the equivalent of planting 120 trees.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
See, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And I know some people might be wondering, well, why haven't they done that already? Why haven't they just gone to all of their buses electric? And honestly, it's a tough process because we do have a unique environment with the altitude and the cold and the snow and some of the steep climbs. And so I believe that the 2 electric buses will go to some of the flatter routes, like say out to Airport Road.
Right.
But eventually, as technology gets better, and it has improved year over year for several years now, so we do anticipate that it will, hopefully by 2030, we will have a whole electric bus fleet, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, super exciting. I don't think a lot of people think about that. With our environment, we need a lot more charge and have to figure out some of the routes. So
exactly.
Another fun thing with our transit is that we found out that the Colorado Association of Transit Authorities awarded Breckenridge its top resort agency of the year. So why do you think we were awarded that?
Well, we do really value our transit system, and we have put a lot of improvements in place. Like for instance, we have the Free Ride app, which I use. It's so easy to use and really convenient. It shows you exactly like where the bus is and where it's coming. And then we also are implementing technology. So if you're waiting at, like, say, the Breck Rec Center, you can see when the bus is coming. And then there's also some smart bus technology on the bus where it counts people automatically, which is really cool. So the bus isn't like, the bus driver isn't trying to, count people as they're coming in and then driving. And then also just our sheer number of people who are using the buses. Last year in 2017, we had over 1 million. We're on track to have over 1 million here soon too in 2018.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
You hope you can slowly change behavior and get more people to take the bus. And I actually think the Free Ride app is a great way to try to continue to convince guests to leave their cars behind.
Yeah, and it really is. If you haven't downloaded it yet, you really should. You can go to the App Store, and it's cool, and it gives you a feeling of like, okay, I can stay maybe at a restaurant for a little bit longer because I can see exactly where the bus is coming. And
exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait out in the cold.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually with the app, I noticed the other day, the transit department can send you alerts or notifications.
Yes, which we've run into a couple months ago where a route was closed down or it was delayed. And so it's a really good way to get information about the routes too.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people rely on it, and that was something else with the award about how many people rely on the bus system for work, which is incredible. It's great to get those cars out of downtown and being more environmentally friendly by using the bus.
Yeah, and I think also we've looked a lot of how that pairs with walkability, because you can convince people to get on the bus, and then how can we convince them maybe to take the bus to one location and then walk to another location. So I know we've been focused on walkability recently.
Yeah, which I think I think it's an opportunity that we continue to work on. It's one of my favorites, honestly. We've been working on getting the lighting just right so people feel safe when they're walking around town. And then there's some streets that we have, at least in the CIP for future years, to either widen the sidewalk and or heat the sidewalk. Just because people, when they stay in town, a lot of times, like say up 4 O'Clock Road or say up Beaver Run, they're really not that far away from town. And if they had a safe way to walk to town, then they wouldn't get in their cars and it would be an experience. And we know that because they do walk to town during the summer.
Exactly.
It's not as, the crowding isn't as intense in the summer. And we think that has a lot to do with the fact that people have safe, well-lit walkways in the summer, and to give them that same feeling in the winter, we think will really improve people walking to town.
Yeah, we're trying to convince them to hop on a shuttle, come here, relax, let us drive you around on the bus, maybe walk around a bit. Actually, what's really interesting is the Colorado Tourism Office just released their new campaign that's kind of Are You Colo Ready? And they talk about even what types of shoes you should bring to Breckenridge, and even our tourism office, Breckenridge Tourism Office, talks about that as well. So maybe we get people in the right shoes, we get the sidewalks lit well and heated, and people start really walking down into town.
Yeah, and then it's part of the experience. We want everybody to have a good, safe experience here, and I think they're not coming to Breckenridge to be in their cars anyway, and so the more that we can create a better experience, the better for everyone.
Exactly. Another project we're working on is our Block 11 housing development. And I feel like everyone has been pretty filled in about Blue 52, but maybe Block 11 might be a new term for them. So talk a little bit about what that project is, where it is, the goals.
Sure. So Block 11 is in the same block as Blue 52, and it's called, this new development of 18 apartments is called Coteau Flats. If you're wondering where that name came from, it's a mixture of county and town, so it is Coteau. And so what we did was we ended up having an agreement with the county where we're selling them half of the apartments, and they're for rent, and it's for people, for employees. So half will be for town employees and half will be for county employees, and that's for an 80% or less AMI, which is average median income. So we're really looking to capture the workforce. And I understand that, like, all businesses need help with their workforce and housing and things like that. All people do. But at the same time, if you think about it, the town and the county are one of the they employ a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so we need that help too. And so we're really happy to be able to provide this as another option for people who are working in our community.
Yeah, and I heard something about micro units.
Oh,
What
that's
does
right.
that
So
mean?
I'm really excited about this. I think I think it'll be a really great option for people. I know I've lived in a studio before that would have been considered a micro unit, and it's just a good amount of space just for one person, and they're more affordable. So we're looking at more options for the micro unit. I wish I had on the top. Is it 265 square
Something,
feet?
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And yeah, so we think it's an efficient option for somebody working in town or the county to just to have enough space and to have their four walls and to have a really good, safe place to live.
Well, we're all outside so much all the time
exactly.
anyways.
Yeah.
Really, you just need a place to store your gear.
Right,
And a bed. And a bed.
A bed is
A
good.
bed,
Yeah.
a kitchen, and place to store your
Yeah,
gear.
and there'll be like a common area in that building as well, and so that people can share that resource as well.
Right,
They need
and
to get out.
And we've been looking at some unique construction for that as well,
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. So, a month ago or something like that, somebody had mentioned to a town council member about modular building for hotels, and maybe that would be a good option for our workforce housing. And we looked into it, and I know that I wasn't able to make it, but the rest of the council was able to take a field trip to see one of these buildings made with pre-made modular units, and they loved it. And so they came back, and we talked about the pros and the cons, and honestly there aren't that many cons. The pros are they're really well built, and they're already made, and they're more affordable, so it's making our tax dollars go further. And we're pretty excited about it. And now these are modular. They're not like, I don't know, your grandparents' modular homes or anything like that. They're really well done, and actually the niche market for this company who makes them is actually high-end hotels.
Yeah.
And so it's really high quality. And then what they do is they mass produce these for high-end hotels, and then when they have a break, they really like to work with municipalities. And so we're hoping that in one of their next breaks in their production, we can sneak in there and have these made. Town council is also, because it's a unique company, they want to actually meet us. They want to meet the council. And so we're taking a field trip to Boise, Idaho to go to one of the manufacturing plants at the end of the month.
Oh, that'll be so fascinating. And we talked about, entering that development agreement with the county, which is going to be great, making sure that some of our largest employers have housing. And, I think what's really unique about this new area we're developing is that it does really have that neighborhood feel. Yeah. And we are working towards River Park, which is so exciting and really beautiful to look at, actually.
It is a beautiful park. It's pretty modern and kind of swanky. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
pretty park to look at.
Yeah.
So you might have noticed as you're driving into town, heading south on Highway 9, on the right side there, you'll see Blue 52, just before town, and then you'll see like these towers, and they're blue and gray and like these pretty colors, and that's River Park. And so that park will obviously service Blue 52 there, and will tie the community together. And a couple weeks ago, we had a ribbon cutting there, and it was a sneak preview because I believe the park has closed since.
Yeah, it's not open quite yet.
We brought in some kids and they played, and actually that tower, if you're wanting to know, it's actually a slide, which some of the council members took a go at it. They confirmed it was fun.
I heard it was kind of chaos. Kids were just like running around and loving it. And
it was a lot of fun, and there's a lot of interaction with that park, with the environment, and some educational components. And what's great about that park was that the town of Breckenridge was able to get a GoCo grant.
Yeah.
And that was for $350,000 for 2018, and then in 2020. We will get another $350,000 from the GoCo grant. And so really that park is half done, and we're waiting for that additional money to come in to help. And that $700,000 doesn't cover all of it. There was also funding from BOSAC and then also from the town CIP. But it'll be beautiful, and it has some great access to the river right there.
I think it'll be awesome too, you know, being right on the rec path. It's almost like a destination park.
Sure.
People can bike there and kind of take a stop along the way. So,
exactly. Yeah. If people are, say, renting bikes in town, what a great destination. If they're a family and they're not really looking for a very long ride,
they don't want to ride all the way to Frisco.
Exactly. They can ride their bikes to the park, play around, and have some fun.
Yeah. So we've talked about transit, we've talked about housing. I think another one is, well, you know, I don't want to say food, but
it's food.
Food, basic necessities, shopping. We actually did just sign a development agreement with the Parkway Center, and people might not know that that's actually the center where City Market is, and some of the other companies there. And so, what is this agreement all about?
Well, it's all about food.
It is all about food, yeah.
So one of the top complaints, and I've definitely felt this struggle too, is that City Market is so packed when you go. And sometimes they run out of vegetables, and it's really important to have the ability to go to the grocery store and get what you need and feed your families and things like that. And so council has recognized that it's been a struggle here and there. And granted, the people who work at City Market are so great.
Oh, they kill it. They work amazing. So hard and are amazing.
Yeah, and so it really is just the ability to house all the food, right? Like the space for the food and even some of the storage. Like in the produce department, I've been told that even though they're, you know, out of something in the front, they have it in the back. It's just a matter, or they don't have it in the back because they don't have the storage, and so it's a matter of, you know, having enough space. And so we did start talks about maybe going and approaching another grocery store, but first we wanted to work with, you know, the people we have in town with City Market, and obviously, like we do know that there are other little markets here and there.
That do help,
right? Which helps. But at the same time, you know, a big grocery store is important to everyone. So we approached City Market and the landowner of the Parkway Center. The Parkway Center. I forgot the name. So we approached both entities, and we were able to come up with a development agreement. And so to sort of, because we know how this impacts our community, it was important to make sure that they felt good about expanding City Market. And so they came and they asked for 7 SFEs. I might need to look at this now for a second because you'll probably want to know the square footage. I know that it was important to me. So they asked for us to transfer 7 commercial SFEs in addition to the current 47.3 SFEs. So the new space will be 57,363 total square feet. Now to compare that, we currently have 47,262 square feet. So what that means is that we will gain an additional 10,000 square feet, which will be huge. And so just in case anybody's worrying, because we were, part of the development agreement included the fact that it has to be grocery. It can't be patio furniture or I don't know, other things, gadgets or toys or whatever. That additional needs to be grocery. So that's pretty exciting. And then we also put another caveat into the agreement that it's valid for 1 year. So that means that this will have to happen soon. I mean, we don't have like a drop dead date, but it has to happen within the year. So,
and will City Market have to close anything to expand?
No.
Okay.
They won't.
Which is great.
Hopefully that will go as smoothly as it can.
Yeah. Have some pardon our desk signs.
Yes, exactly. Kind of so hopefully that will go well. And I don't know if you've noticed, but they also have that scan and go option, which hopefully will help things go smoothly during the holiday season as well, in our busy season of the winter.
Exactly. Oh yeah. I've been there a couple nights and just wide-eyed walking around.
Yeah. And of course, like, you know, as government, you know, people might be saying, you know, why is government involved in grocery? But it's one of our basic needs, right? So it's really important to us so that everybody has access to healthy foods and
Yeah.
Yeah.
So transit, housing, food, let's talk about everybody's favorite topic, which is trash, but also recycling. So November 15th is National Recycling Day, and this is definitely something that's very important to Breck, with just trash in general. And so I think recently we made a few updates to the way trash is being picked up in town to alleviate some issues.
Sure. Well, some things that you'll notice and some things that you probably won't notice.
Right.
Like, for instance, we're increasing pickup frequency at Public Works and the golf course.
Right.
That's something you'll probably
not notice. Yeah.
But we're also increasing street pickup from 3 days to 5 days. And so hopefully, like, I don't know if you've noticed that sometimes the trash receptacles get overloaded. And then sometimes you might wonder if that's because somebody is emptying their personal trash on the trash receptacle on Main Street. And so we've also added some fines and unfortunately, some policies around people just using those Main Street receptacles for their own trash.
Yeah.
And so yes, we are going
like
to
full trash bags of
investigate
trash.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, to make sure that stops happening, because it really is unfortunate when you're walking down the street and you don't want to be that person who's like, oh, it's a tower and I'm just going to put this
It's like a reverse Jenga.
Yes, exactly. Let me see what else I have. So there's also stricter guidelines, and this is probably something else that people won't notice, but there will be stricter guidelines on the businesses that use the dumpsters. I know we've heard some complaints about people not recycling well there, and so hopefully we'll be increasing the communication so that we're discretionary as far as what businesses are using those dumpsters, and making sure that they're well informed as far as what trash goes where and the recycling and all that good stuff.
Yeah, Jesse, our sustainability coordinator, and then Steve with Streets and Parks, they said they were actually going to go out and do a trash audit. So do a little dumpster and trash can diving.
Exactly.
So that'll be interesting to see what comes from that. And people may see soon we are going to roll out some new signage
on
our recycling cans as well.
Yeah, which is in line with Recycle Across America. And Jesse brought that to council, and the graphics they're pretty too.
Yeah.
And it's really clear, where you put cans and versus plastic and glass and things like that. But that should help our visitors know where to recycle a little bit better, because it is a universal, or at least nationally universal, signage.
And Summit County is a little different, and Breck and what you can and can't recycle.
Exactly.
And, I know that we have worked with SCTV to make a little commercial about what you can and can't recycle, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be playing in the lodging properties and flipping through the TV. So hopefully people will see, hey, this is what you can and can't recycle in Breckenridge, and hopefully increase our diversion rate, which is ultimately the goal, right?
That's the goal, for sure.
Yeah, and with 1A and maybe some new money towards recycling, we'll see if we can continue to always recycle more. Yeah,
and I know coming up, at some point we'll be talking about pay as you throw.
Yes.
Or save as you recycle.
Save as you recycle.
Yeah, that's the more
happy version.
PC.
Yeah.
The positive. So that will be coming down the line as well. And, it's just really important. We love our environment here. We wouldn't have what we have. And I think a lot of people wouldn't be here without the environment that we have. So we just want to make sure that that's always on our minds.
Yeah. And continuing to reduce single-use plastics.
Yes.
Anytime we possibly can.
Yes.
Well, I think that's all I have for today, and thanks for joining us to talk about winter.
Thanks for having me.
Hopefully it'll be very powdery, and we'll have a great season, and everyone will enjoy it. But everyone stay tuned, and you hopefully will see all of these developments happening around town soon.